This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Retromania!
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
2-day-old spaghetti night?
What is up with old shit
I don't know.
and you?
I don't know.
He is an old shit.
But that's it. Well, that's true.
No, it's podcast day.
Well, it is podcast day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
Welcome
How
to
did you guess that?
I don't know. I think it just feels like we've done this enough times.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 4, Retromania 4, Holy Animated Series Batman. We're going to be talking about the 1990s Batman animated series. I have such fond memories of this show, and now that I have DC Universe online, I'm like watching them over again, and they're still just as good.
I'm pretty sure they're on Hulu too.
Are they really?
Ooh. Yeah, because I was going through Hulu the other day because I was watching the new Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is like fantastic.
I'm still getting through that show.
Oh, and but I was going through Hulu, and Hulu has like all these old cartoons, like Doug is on Hulu.
Yeah, I noticed that like the other day.
Batman is on there, and like I think it's all the episodes actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty accessible, it seems like, to watch that. Not only all the other cartoons that we usually talk about, but that Batman one is pretty big.
Did you guys ever watch that as kids?
Oh,
Fuck
hell
yes.
The animated series? Are you shitting?
yes.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. It was all I don't remember any of it, but that's all I fucking watched, dude.
Oh yeah. We also wanted to welcome a guest. Our very own
Game Store
representative Bryan is here.
Yay!
Yeah.
To mention.
Game Store.
Yeah, cool.
He's also black.
He's also black.
We're mixing it up.
And it's milk chocolate, not dark.
And we can only give you $1.50 for being on the episode. Sorry.
I'll take it.
Government shutdown and all.
He's Obama black, not Terry Crews black.
I wish I was Terry Crews built though. Like
I just wish I was Terry Crews. Period.
Yeah. Right? That guy's life must be really, really interesting.
He's a really humble dude, too.
Yeah, he is, dude. And
If
he's
you
like,
listen to any of the shit that he's done, like, talked about, like, serious, he's a super compelling character.
yeah, he's a very big advocate for like sexual abuse and stuff.
Right.
I really wish that he has nothing to do with Crackdown 3, but...
No, there was an article I read a couple months ago about him like being sexually assaulted, and he was supposed to be in the Expendables, but now he's not because
Because he was sexually assaulted, or
he was like at some party and some Hollywood guy kind of literally grabbed him by the balls and was like,
It
I
was
have the
one
power.
of the people that was responsible for the movie.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
so-
No shit, are
You're
you
supposed
serious?
to grab the fucking He-Man's sword and then say, I have the power, not balls.
Yeah, no, it's-
I thought you were supposed to grab... I won't make that joke.
No, yeah, like, and it would make sense too for him to be in an
Like
Expendables
presidential.
movie, But no, yeah, after that he was like, I'm not doing that.
That
Absolutely
is...
not.
I mean, it's super ironic because... Isn't that what happens to him in Friday After Next?
yeah, you guys.
Isn't Cat Williams
yeah.
grabbing by the balls
Yeah,
by a pair of pliers?
Yep, Cat Williams.
That is horrible. Horribly ironic.
Peeping.
We live in a
peeping.
we live in a fucked up world, guys. I hope
Yeah,
you know.
but you got to think about it though. Like when that movie came out, it wasn't as that shit wasn't
Oh,
as
no,
prevalent
no, not
then at
nearly.
all as it is now. Like I'm sure if that were a scene in a movie that were to happen to him again, he would just say, "Fuck no, I'm not doing that."
Like, why did you even ask?
Everything in like late 80s, 90s would be like banned today.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Shut down
God.
instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Are we doing some news? 'Cause
piece
I got some
of
good
piece of
ones.
news, new Shazam trailer. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it, and it looks really promising.
Does it?
Yeah. The funniest thing about that trailer to me was that they were like, "And this time, the hero isn't that serious." Like that's what they said.
What?
Yeah, on
What
the
the
thing. Yeah, like
Dumbass line.
it was something to that effect. Like he said, and you know, it's not serious though. Like that's what it
I mean,
said.
I
That's
get
like
it,
DC's
'cause-
way of saying like, "Hey guys, we're mixing it up. Like let's come watch the movie. We're mixing it up."
Wow.
So I saw this at work the other day. There is a Power Rangers fighting game coming,
Right.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you brought that up.
and it's coming to the Switch.
Yep, getting on the Switch.
Only on the
Power
Switch?
No, it's on everything.
Power
PC.
Rangers Battle for the Grid, and it looks awesome.
Did you guys ever play the mobile game? The mobile fighting Power Rangers game?
Kinda.
I played it for like a week.
I
It's
bought
fun.
the side-scrolling one that came out for the consoles like a year or two ago.
Oh, yeah. I had so much hype for that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But this one actually looks really good, and I loved. I mean, obviously we can't like do the trailer right now, but
Of course.
I loved watching. I watched the trailer, and it's funny because they're it's showing off all the moves. You pre-order, you get this badass Green Ranger thing, and
Lord
like the two guys are
Draken Green
fighting,
Ranger.
and the one guy loses, and then you see the controller go down, and it's like Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh god,
I was gonna say you're probably way hyped.
Dude,
for
the guy's a cool dude. Comic-Con, I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw Kimberly. That's like a childhood thing for me. I was like, I'm done.
Dude, I
Yeah,
have
same,
met,
bro.
I have met almost all, except for the original Yellow Ranger.
Because RIP.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
But yeah, all the Power Rangers, like almost all of them, I've met like thanks to Comic Con.
Zach's dope, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it because he's a black brother, too. I'm just saying he's cool.
Gotta clarify. I really enjoyed meeting. I can't remember his real name, but Billy.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah,
David
yeah.
Yost.
Yeah, he
David
was
Yost,
cool
yeah.
as fuck.
It was
But
way cool. I have like these die-cast morphers with all the coins, and I have.
What?
Yeah, no, they're dope. They were at
The mall.
too, and that's probably.
Plug.
Yeah, let's cut that out. I'm not advertising that. $80, and it does the song, it does the theme song, and then the morpher had all of the coins
somewhere
and stuff.
in
it's
my, because like at my parents' house, like my mom just never got rid of like any of this like action figures and stuff that I played with as a kid. So I still have like everything that I used to have, and somewhere in my like treasure trove I have the White Ranger's sword, and like you pull the trigger and it's like Tiger Sword power now.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Dude. I have a, you know how like Comic Con does the Comic Con bucks or whatever.
Yeah. Mhm.
I have one. It's a $5 one with Jason David Frank's face on it and his signature.
Oh, I used to have one like that. It was I had it hanging in my cubicle at one of my old jobs, but it was the little one of the little girls that I think it was the one that Carol from The Walking Dead like had to put down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was just her because she was at like one of the first Comic Cons I went to.
I'm glad that she put her down. That girl was getting annoying.
Yeah, she
And
was.
I wanted her to die. I was like, you crazy.
I'm
okay?
rewatching the series and I'm just looking at her and I'm like, oh, you're nice now, but you're gonna fucking get it.
no,
and
like
you're gonna fucking deserve
Like
it.
you're normal now, but how it progressed with her younger sister and Carol at the same time, like you'll get rid of this like now.
I know that
Put her down.
This correlation probably has nothing to do with anything, but I like to think that it does. So in the Walking Dead, so you have is his name Tyrese, like the big black guy?
Yeah,
And then you've
yeah.
got what's her name? I can't think of her name, but she's like the black chick that was always with him.
Michonne?
No, not Michonne.
The other one.
The other
She had like the ponytail.
She died when she came out of the coffin
Yeah.
with Negan and almost tried to
But-
kill him.
She's fine as fuck.
I think
She
about
is.
I think about that, and then I think that how in Left 4 Dead 2 there are two characters that are extremely similar to them.
Oh, yeah.
Coach and then Zoe.
Yeah.
Or not Zoe.
I know
her
who you're
name,
talking
but yeah,
about.
yeah.
I do that all the time though, Nick. Like so, like say Sherlock, right? You got Benedict Cumberbatch, right? Smart as fuck guy, right? And then like let's say he dies, in their life, he becomes Doctor Strange. He just ascends.
Yeah.
And they go different. Yeah, no, I do that all the time. Wife thinks I'm crazy.
We finally got a release for Days Gone.
It's April 26th.
Yep.
Oh, April 26th. I will not play that game because of Endgame. That's the same day that Avengers Endgame comes out. And I'm
Ah.
like, yeah, we just gotta wait a day. I'll watch that
Don't
movie
you
and play.
shrug.
So you'll
like it
probably.
doesn't
I mean,
matter.
you can probably.
You can still play the game. That's why I'm shrugging. Though.
Yeah.
You can still play the
I'm
game.
just telling, like, I'll watch the movie first, then play the game.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited. I've been so excited for that game, and like all the fucking
God, I hope it's
delaying.
good.
I'm scared.
I think it's
that
gonna be good,
My
dude.
hype has died down for it because it's been like
It's been
3 years.
postponed.
In a
Well,
making.
I was
Place.
talking to Nathan about it last night on Facebook, and I kept saying, like, man, this game is... Because his post was like, if you're sleeping on this game, you're missing out. And I was like, it looks like the most... No. It just looks boring. Like,
No.
Well, I mean, like, I just have a hard time thinking that this game can exist in a world where The Last of Us perfected, like, the zombie trope and, you know, keeping it, like, relative to PlayStation, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, like, almost perfected the open world. So I'm like, when you have both of them, I just can't see it, like, coexisting peacefully.
I watched a YouTube video of 7 different people who played the game,
With IGN.
Yeah, I watched that too. That was a good one.
and they all seem to have liked it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got the collector's edition pre-ordered. Like, I'm fully into it because I get every PlayStation exclusive, but I can't. It's the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. Like, I can't get disappointed. I have to go in with the lowest expectations possible.
That's fine, but this is your problem though, is that you do this with literally every damn game. You're like, look, I'm expecting put expectations low. That's fine. I do it too because I don't want to get disappointed.
Yeah.
But then, like, while you're doing it, you go into like this mathematical of why you need to do it. Like, dude, just relax.
I know.
Play the damn game when it comes out.
I'm a critic.
Have
Okay?
fun.
I'm a critic.
Yeah, that's the problem.
All the while, we're still waiting on releases for Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima.
Don't expect it anytime soon.
I think, honestly,
That game is a PlayStation 5 game.
well, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, do
guaranteed.
you guys think that it'll be? Do you think it'll be a launch title, or do you think it'll be like The Last of Us was?
Which one are we? Ghost of Tsushima or both?
Both.
I think the launch title is going to be Elder Scrolls 6. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do with Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I think we're gonna get it probably. I think first quarter next year. I think we'll get Ghost of Tsushima. Death Stranding, I think, is going to be like The Last of Us, where it's going to be like
The swan song.
Yeah, it's going to be like the PlayStation 4 swan song, and then go into the PlayStation 5.
See, like, I know PS5 is inevitable. It's gonna happen. But like, my question is, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do to make it better? And if it's going to be a real system, please, for the love of God, make it backwards compatible. Like,
They can't do that again. Like, there is no way on God's green earth that they're gonna make a PlayStation that doesn't play the previous games. There's no way at all. They're not gonna make that same mistake twice.
So with everyone
really
saying
don't.
that it come out 2020, you're gonna have 5 games.
I honestly, and that's my thing too. Is I'm good right now. I don't need a new console.
Yeah, no, that's my thing too. Like, I'm all for the PS5, but it also is like, I'm good with my PS4. What is the PS5 going to offer to me that's not the exclusive games?
I honestly think that, because the PS4, I think it has 2 or 3 more years left in it.
Yeah.
I honestly think, like, if we got a PS5 in 2022, I'd be straight with that.
And plus, with them skipping E3 this year,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, how are you going to, are you going to do another
Yeah.
PSX? Or?
Unless the PS5 is going to give me BJs, I'm okay with waiting.
Right?
So I
especially
think-
just like
always
especially
thinking
with the
about
Pro.
yourself, you selfish fuck.
So I think what's going to happen is that the entirety of the year, you're not going to hear anything from PlayStation. I really don't. I think you're going to get a PlayStation, a PSX at the end of the year. You're going to get, I really do feel like they're going to announce the console this year. And I feel like they're going to release it holiday next year. In 2020. I feel like that's perfect. That is like 100% coincides with their business plan and what they've been doing going forward. I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to come out this year. I think they're going to shadow drop it and just be like, trailer tomorrow, release date. And I think that's what they're going to stick with.
Kind of like how they did with that Quiet Guy game.
You don't talk about that game. I think that Death Stranding, that's the only like error in my system because there is no possible way to even
We still don't
speculate about that game at all because it's such a fucking enigma.
Yeah, we still don't even know what that game is.
Yeah.
Like,
Watch, that's how they're gonna do it. They're just gonna release it, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck am I holding right now?" Like,
Like,
what is this?
It's a
I don't know.
glorified FedEx delivery game.
Yeah.
I really don't
Dystopian
like the way
FedEx.
that they've been going about announcing stuff for that game because it's like, all right, I cared about this game 3 years ago. Now I could care less. Like, I'm sorry, that's just how my consumer brain works. And all these other games that are coming out that are stellar.
That's kind of on the same level of how I feel about Days Gone. Like, I'm excited for it to come out, finally, but at the same time, I'm like, I've been, like, being told things about this over and over, and it's like, now there's a release date, and, I'll probably still get it, but I'm not, like, when it first got announced and the trailers got released, I was like,
rad.
pre-order.
Yeah, it looked really good. I remember.
Now I'm probably just gonna like get it when it comes out.
I remember looking at that game's trailer, going like, "Holy fuck, it's Last of Us 2." Like I kept thinking, I was like, "It's Last of Us 2."
That's not Joel, but it's Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I kept thinking, I was like, "Holy fuck, they ditched Ellie, they ditched Joel, they're going for something else." I like full on thought it was.
Zombies, like, you're
I
on
don't
your
know.
own.
I just that game. I have a hard time with that game,
We'll
but.
see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
see.
see, and it's coming from a studio that's got a lot to prove. Like it's Sony banned. They made was it Tearaway on the Vita?
Tearaway Unfolded with PS4 too.
Yeah, that was their last game that they made.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like they have a
And
lot
that was
to
a
prove.
decently fun game.
It was fun, but it's nowhere near what they're making right now.
Yeah, it's
yeah, they're really stepping into some.
So I think
Tepid water.
I think
Yeah.
I think Tsushima comes out this year. I really do. I think that's their tentpole game for the year.
Cool.
Besides Days Gone, because I really think that Sony's like just pushing that game out. Like we can't spend any more money on advertising. Like let's just get that fucking game out so people can play it. They'll be disappointed or they won't. Like I really do feel like it's going to be a super divisive game. Like some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it. Tsushima's this year, like I said. I think next year you're gonna see Last of Us. I'm going back on my word because I've been on previous casts saying like, hey, I think that, Last of Us is going to come out this year. I thought it was fucking locked. I thought it was perfect. Last of Us Part 2 comes out April. Like in that time period, I was like, there's no way that is absolutely perfect for that game to come out. And then they announced, Days Gone. It comes out, April-ish. I'm like, fuck. That just completely ruins my entire timeline, And not only that, at the end of the year, Neil Druckmann, the director of those games, put out a mocap picture on Instagram, like, more to come in 2019. I'm like, they're still doing mocap for that game. So it's like, that game is nowhere near done. Which makes me really sad.
Moral of your story, keep your expectations low and don't expect anything.
Yeah, that's kind of the expectation you should go into like with any game. Like
You
if
don't.
I know I don't.
Why you gotta hurt yourself?
I'm stupid. I'm stupid. That's what it is.
Speaking of not keeping expectations low, we got I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a trailer for one of the new characters in Mortal Kombat 11, and apparently he can fuck around with the round timer.
Yeah.
Like it's one of his moves.
Yeah, he can manipulate the round timer.
Yeah.
That's busted.
So, did everyone see the gameplay trailer?
I saw the gameplay trailer.
article, but
Hype as fuck. That game looks rad, dude. It looks so good.
Yeah, and Sonya Blade being voiced by Ronda Rousey, dude, that's fucking
That kind of
dope.
just fits, honestly.
Yeah, it gave me a bigger boner for Ronda Rousey.
so she did this little. I saw this little video where she talked about it a tiny bit, and she was like, I mean, and truth be told, yeah, I do kind of emulate myself after Sonya, and I was like, you don't say.
I think it is the coolest design for Scorpion. I think it's the coolest design for Sub-Zero.
We get to play Baraka.
And they were also teasing a Cabal return.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If this game doesn't have Cabal, Noob Saibot, and Smoke, no buy. No way. No, not
refund
happening.
that $300 you spent.
I don't want to talk about it.
So
we're gonna talk about it.
I haven't confirmed or I've seen this, but I've heard because they always since 9 they've put horror characters in there.
Yeah.
You have Michael Myers and Pennywise in 11.
Oh,
Like, which is it? The new
It's
Pennywise?
the new Pennywise, and it's just Michael Myers. Like, you know,
I hope they have like an old school Pennywise like
outfit.
skin.
Well,
Yeah.
you watched
Yeah.
the gameplay trailer. They showed a crap ton of like customization with
Yeah?
your outfit. So
Okay.
I don't doubt that you'll.
There's
have,
there's a
hope so.
character creation in that game.
Yeah,
isn't
no,
there?
yeah. So
What?
yeah.
What?
I
I'm
don't-
all about that.
I don't
shit.
doubt that you can customize it because they showed Scorpion as base Scorpion.
Oh
Then
my
it changed
God.
him to like
Oh my
day
God.
one Scorpion.
Oh, wow.
But then it also showed him in his rags that weren't even yellow. You could like change the colors and everything. It was rad.
Dude,
And I was
that's
like,
fucking
okay.
dope.
Yeah,
That's fucking
That's
dope.
also an April release too.
I don't really want them to go with the horror theme anymore. I want them to kind of branch out a little bit with their DLC.
What are you
That-
gonna branch out to? That's not.
I don't
horror,
have any
you know?
idea. I
Maybe
don't know.
maybe some Disney characters.
Dude.
Get them in Mortal
You
Kombat.
just want Disney characters and everything.
I don't.
You know what? Kingdom Hearts ruined me. All right.
Kingdom Hearts.
On some personal news of a personal note, I won a fucking Funko Pop.
Oh yeah, which one?
So like and I'm only saying this because I just want to plug Funko.
Yeah.
So everybody go like their page on Facebook because they do these little giveaways like constantly where you know they'll post a picture of a Funko
Okay.
and you like the status and then like
You
for
share
example
So
give
which
like
Funko
you don't
did
even
you
have
You
to
won it
share
off of that thing?
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah.
What'd you win?
So you know the original Grinch cartoon.
Oh, you got the doggy.
I got
You got Max.
I got
yeah.
Max with the antlers.
Oh, that's
That's
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But yeah, no, you like it and then either like put they switch it up, but like they ask you for like your favorite scene, so you comment your favorite scene
Yeah.
or comment a quote or
Okay.
whatever. And
As Nick picks up his phone to go like it on.
I was opening Snapchat, but
like
that was
and,
next.
and honestly, and another thing, because I know I've told all these guys this, but for everybody listening, if you haven't watched it, go on to Netflix and check out a documentary of Funko called
Oh,
Making
yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Dude, it's they're like
Yeah.
it's the most wholesome fucking stuff ever. Like I watched that and like they're the most likable fucking people ever, and I was just like, have all my money, take it all.
Yeah.
I don't need to live. I'll just be in a box surrounded by all my Funkos.
Well, I know you're not a fan of Persona 5, but they just
I mean, I've never-
I guess it's been leaked that
All of them.
yeah that Persona 5 is getting pop Funkos.
I'm gonna fucking spend all of my money.
Like
on
I
it.
did
It's
manage
not that
to-
I'm not a fan. I've just never played it or been exposed to it
this
much.
can be
really.
cut, but somebody is selling a Chase edition of Cuphead for $10 fucking.
What's the
Jeez.
chase? What's
like
the difference?
that's like
His
like,
straws on either end of
hard
his
to
head.
find. Like, that's like the rare.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like, what's the difference though? Is
I don't know.
like the normal?
I haven't seen like the normal ones, so I don't
Okay.
know. But
I'm pretty excited because have you seen my Figmas of Joker and stuff? Do you know what a Figma is? A Figma is like it's like
Figma
a
of
really
your imagination.
Ah,
got him.
It's a joke.
They're just like really cool action figures. But I got one for Joker, and I've had one for on pre-order for like a long time.
Dope.
But they finally put Makoto and Yusuke on here, or Yosuke.
So
And I'm
to play
like,
five.
oh yeah, I'm so excited. What?
I need to play 5.
Bro.
look, okay.
Bro.
Like who's played any Persona game here besides you? Has anyone played
I
Persona
played
games?
5.
Okay, you damn well know that playing a Persona game is literally another life.
God, I
Yeah,
hate you.
it's
Okay,
I
like-
thought you said you were playing it.
I started it.
Where
but then
you at?
First, no, second.
God
That's
damn
not the
it,
point.
Bryan, where
what
you at?
What I'm saying right now is I don't have the time for that, my man. Okay, you have a kid. You got a 3-year-old that looks like he's a 5-year-old.
You got so much time. You got so much time on your hands.
I've got an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Well, see, they can take care of themselves, kinda. Like the 3-year-old, he broke a
And yet your boy,
dropped the bowl today.
Your boy is.
you don't know
crazy.
his kids. They would die.
Yeah, my kids aren't self-sufficient.
they would
like
they would
we do
destroy
know his
each other. they would all die, and there would be ashes or rubble or something involved, some kind of destruction.
just that apartment would be burnt down. All of the other ones would be fine.
No, I give tons of shit to, especially to you, because you need to play that goddamn game.
I
But
told
it's so hard to play everything.
Dude,
that's coming
after
out
I
and-
finally beat what's his name, Kamoshida, it's like this opens up a whole
Yeah,
other
dude, it
avenue
really
for me.
does.
Now I can actually play the game because this fuckhead is gone.
That's the first palace, right? That's like the tutorial. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Another bit of news: Glass released.
Yep.
I went to go see it. I dug the fuck out of that movie. It's funny. I jokingly called the ending of that movie, and like because
So is it like on a scale of 1 to 10? How satisfying is the ending? Because you know that Shyamalan movies are like not really known for sticking the ending at all.
I was like, who's Sean Milan? Oh, okay.
Did I say it wrong?
no.
It just
midnight.
sounded like you were saying
Oh,
two separate
my
names. I was like,
7.8. I give it
7.8.
7.8. Yeah.
So the trees aren't killing people in this movie.
Trees aren't killing people in this movie.
Well, and
it's
I
a
think-
very direct ending.
I feel like
Okay.
I feel like all the critics were expecting a superhero movie and were all like harumph when they didn't get a Marvel movie. Yeah. They were just very upset. Very upset.
Rabble.
Rabble.
I'm gonna do that same thing when my
Harumph.
boss signs me up for another fucking day. I'm gonna be like, harumph.
No, it's like so we go into the movie and I'm just like, what if so and so happens? What if this and this happens? And we go and like one part of that happens and I'm just like like I'm wide-eyed and then the second part happens
Oh shit! What did Patricia do?
and I'm just like, holy fuck. And then the third part of that shit happens, and I turn over to my wife, and she's pissed. She is mad. She's like, "Keep your shit to yourself next time." I was like, I didn't even.
But wait, she's the one that doesn't like she wants shit spoiled.
Yeah, but she didn't like, and it's just because of the way that things happened or whatever.
Yo,
Like,
this has been like 20 years in the making. Like you
Well,
can't
yeah.
spoil shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
but it's great. It's great. What's his name? McAvoy. He fucking steals the show.
Yeah.
Like him, like all the extra alters that you see.
That's the
by
split guy?
So by the way, was that straight up him or was there some like CG muscles going on?
No, that's all him,
mother-
dude.
that
He's
motherfucker
fucking
was
yoked,
stacked.
dude. He
Like,
was
holy shit. He was jacked as fuck.
dude. He was fucking buff as fuck, bro. Like that
Jack
mother,
stacked and jacked all in one
bro.
sentence. Though.
Yeah, dude.
Swole was the goal for that movie.
and he surpassed it.
Size was the prize, bro.
Jesus.
So you'd probably know because when that trailer came out months ago, and when I caught on, like, oh, it's a mashup of other movies. The one with Bruce Willis. How long ago was that movie released?
Like I said,
16 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. So when I realized what it was, and I was like, whoa.
I think
Like,
that's
how-
why everyone was so excited about Split is because at the very end you get that little stinger with
Yeah.
Bruce Willis and you're like, holy fuck, it's a sequel to
Did
Unbreakable.
anybody? Yeah, nobody knew until you
Yeah,
went
no,
and saw that movie.
That's the thing, like, because
Yeah.
very few people actually caught on to that, and
It's like, holy fuck,
see,
it's
and I-
alluding to
and I totally-
Shyamalan's good movies.
I totally
Yeah, yeah.
skipped that movie.
the Bruce Willis one.
No.
Split.
Split.
Okay.
Split until like a few months ago because
Yeah.
I had no idea. No one ever told me like, "Hey, this is connected."
Well, I remember
so I
seeing-
just
yeah.
skipped it. Had no idea. and went, "Oh fuck!"
I'm
Yeah.
of the same mindset because I remember looking at that going like, this looks like another
Yeah.
generic horror thriller that I'm just
psychological
gonna
movie.
just leave to the side and like
It's like,
maybe
oh,
I'll
a
watch
girl,
it.
a girl's
no,
got
sir.
kidnapped. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
Like those
yeah.
trailers did that movie
So-
no favors at
No,
all.
So Eddie, you would say that because when I saw Split, I had a like newfound like holy fuck for James McAvoy. Is it like it's on that same level?
Oh, absolutely, dude. He fucking steals the show.
because he killed
I mean,
it.
James
in Split,
McAvoy's
like
amazing.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
But
Anyway,
the real question is, how does Sammy do? Samuel Jackson. How's he
That's
do?
not even.
dude,
How is
yeah.
that a question? That's not.
I'm
a
just
question.
wondering.
yeah, he's great, dude. As always, bro. Like,
I
know.
Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass is probably one of my favorite fictional villains.
Yeah.
He's a fucking. He's still a fucking genius, and like
So
his.
what's his whole gimmick again? I know that his bones are like glass.
Yeah, his bones. His bones.
So-
he has something called
lumbago.
Yeah.
I can't take the
I
trash
got
out.
lumbago.
I got lumbago.
By the way, when you said Sam L. Jackson, it sounded like you said Sam L. Jackson, like Samuel. Like,
Samel.
It's ma'am.
Some
It's
ma'am
Sam. No, dude.
S-A-apostrophe-A-M.
So, by the way, though, like I love like the arc in Unbreakable for Sam L. Jackson becoming Mr. Glass. I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Like,
No, and he's
trying
great.
to turn this guy into a hero, and in the process goes, oh shit, I'm the villain.
Yeah.
Like, I love that, dude. He's just
Yeah,
like,
he
oh,
is-
well, goddamn.
So to answer your
Pearls.
I do declare.
your question, he has a condition called osteogenesis imperfecta.
Okay.
And that's what makes his bones like glass or whatever. But he's also like stupid smart. Like
Okay.
he's like
Professor Xavier.
yeah,
Smart.
he's like Xavier smart. Like he calculates everything. Like
Find a way to fix those damn bones.
he's like if Domino's power was just in your brain.
Okay.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just thinks 50 steps ahead.
Well, there's isn't there an Inhuman character that does kind of the same thing?
Yeah. Mhm.
Like he's a master strategist, and he can think like he can just see all these possible outcomes, and then
Yeah,
boom, boom,
and that's
boom.
exactly what
I forget
Samuel
the
Jackson's
Inhuman
power is. Yeah. So yeah, no, I recommend it. I thought it was great. They tied all three movies together perfectly.
Okay.
Like there were like the resolution of the movie comes from Unbreakable. Like
Okay.
the resolution of like how everything just ends up going down at the end
Yeah.
comes from Unbreakable. So it's fucking dope. It's crazy. I'm surprised I called it, and that was fucking cool. Because watch, when you guys watch that movie, you're gonna be like,
It's
how
always
the fuck?
satisfying to be able to do that.
Yeah, like what was it? What movie was it? Shutter Island. I called that movie in the first 20 minutes.
You are a fucking mastermind. 'Cause
Dude,
that
like-
movie had me by the balls until
Dude, like,
the credits rolled.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, I see what's going on here. He's probably part of just an experiment, and they're just letting him fucking run free.
That movie is so
So
brilliant.
this shit totally reminds me of the IT Crowd episode. Where fucking Roy is trying to see that Korean zombie movie. or
I
whatever.
don't even watch that show, and I've seen that shit.
And he goes over to his boss's house, and he's just trying to like figure out what the twist is, because they all like everybody keeps talking about this twist in the movie.
Yeah.
And Roy's just like, no, can we just not guess what the twist is?
And
I
then-
just feel like that'll
Isn't
ruin
that the
it.
one where he like goes over to that guy's house?
Yes,
who's
the
trying
hand-
to-
the
who's
cannibal.
trying to kill him.
The German cannibal. He was a fine young cannibal. So, by the way, really quick before we get into stuff, I want to hear what people think about the Ghostbusters shit.
Leslie, is their name Leslie Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's literally the most unfunny woman on this planet.
Yes.
She does not.
Thank you.
She does not deserve an opinion about Ghostbusters. Fuck you.
I
She
mean,
the black one?
yeah.
You put her in one
Not-
Ghostbusters
Let
movie.
me disclaimer.
I like
she's
what you
not-
said, and she thinks she's a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Like,
Not because she's
like
fucking
the-
black, okay?
she's like
Let's
a-
throw that out the window.
Her comedy, she's like the bull in a china shop of comedy.
She's
like,
not
she
funny
just,
at all.
She's loud, and she just runs over stuff, and like that's to me that's
Is she still part of Saturday Night
like
Live?
there's nothing
No,
there's nothing clever about it for me.
No.
Like her comedy, and it's just like, all right, you're
I just
loud.
remember,
okay.
I remember seeing all her
right.
commercials, and I'm like, my God, you are so unlikable. It's not even funny.
I liked all the other people in that movie.
I liked
I-
the
like, I
glasses blonde girl, like the crazy
she's the-
one.
she's the
she was the best.
Dude, she's
kinda
actually my
Kinda
favorite
hot.
character on SNL.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And did you ever see that movie? I can't remember what it was called, but it had Zach Galifianakis, and they're doing the robbery.
Oh.
Masterminds.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, speaking Zach Galifianakis, got Spider-Man trailer. Ugh.
What?
Spider-Man, the
Far,
Far From Home.
The trailer?
What does that have to do with
Where
Zach
was
Galifianakis?
he in?
Isn't
I
he
don't-
Mysterio?
No,
What?
dude.
No,
That's
what?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Zach
Oh, yeah.
I
that is-
wish he was
that-
Mysterio.
That would be a completely
hey,
different
got some
movie.
weird
You
ass
know
last
what?
names.
I really hope that Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't get wind of this, because he's going to be very upset that you thought he was Zach Galifianakis.
Spider-Man. Hey, get down from there.
Hey, yeah, I got a baby. I found it.
Dude, that's his most brilliant movie. Due Date. That movie is fucking awesome, dude. I love that movie so much.
But yeah, no, so like, but what I mean is, how do you feel about the stuff for the new movie, and like the little teaser, and like how do you feel about it in general?
I'm excited, bro.
I mean, I'm stoked.
We
Too
talking
far
about
gone.
Spider-Man?
No, Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Too far gone, in my opinion.
See-
I don't know. I just feel like that movie that they made is so.
What do you
irredeemable.
know about it? Like the new.
Not a
Have you
lot.
seen it?
Okay,
Not a lot.
so first of all, it's being directed and everything by the son of the director of the original movie,
Okay.
which is cool.
And
Also-
it's a sequel. Like, it's a real sequel.
It's in the
Ghostbusters
original
3.
Ghostbusters universe. But what I'm not sure about is it's kids.
Are you Wait, you're talking about a brand new
Yes.
other movie?
Yes.
Yeah, like a
Oh.
third, like a
So-
third one to this.
So
to the first
it's
two.
going to be
Okay.
kids with some sort of mentor. They've already been looking at casting like some
It could be
kids
rad.
for it.
It could be
And,
rad.
and I don't know though. I'm like I feel like they stole this idea from Stranger Things.
Yeah, right.
Like somebody like Reitman. It's Reitman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the director? Yeah. I feel like Reitman was watching Stranger Things and went,
That'd be cool if he got the kids from Stranger Things.
"Oh, I know."
Like everything else.
Like, I'm okay with remakes and doing whatever. Obviously, you don't gotta like them, and I'm not saying you can totally bash on them. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like, when you go into a movie, a TV show, a game, strictly comparing it to the original, you're not having a good time already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
You're like, dude, so.
Well,
And if you really want to go see it, go see it. If not, just leave it.
and,
alone.
and,
kind
there,
of the
and nothing
same-
about a movie existing erases the original movie, changes how you feel about the original movie, changes how you enjoy the original movie.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck? Who
Right,
gives a
right,
fuck? Watch it or don't. And yeah, sure, go ahead. Throw out a post or two, but like obsessing over it is a little fucking ridiculous.
Speaking a little bit to what you're saying, Brian, it's kind of the same way I feel about Mega Man 11. Because a lot of people are bitching about how, like, oh, I don't like the art style and I don't like how the way it plays.
It doesn't have Dr. Wily's theme in it.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's a completely different
Dude,
game.
I played the demo and I thought it looked phenomenal.
It feels amazing. I like it.
I love that game.
The only thing I gotta bitch
but-
about that game is that one level in 11 where you're walking, where a tent deliberately looks like it's in the background of the level. So I'm just running, like, at the very beginning. Ready, bam, teleport, you're walking, there's a tent, because it's like an outdoorsy level. Okay, cool. I'm walking.
It looks like you can walk right past
It's
it.
an enemy. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yo, it's a lesson. Mega Man always out here teaching lessons, alright?
Yeah.
And once you learn that lesson, now you're gonna never make that mistake.
Well, I
again.
wouldn't have had to learn that lesson if Zero was playable, but that's another
Oh.
that's a different story.
I have one more small piece of news that I don't really have anything to go much into. I'm just looking over the article, but New Mutants is rumored to either be delayed again or possibly released on Hulu.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, Hulu getting a lot of shit.
I think that's huge if they put that on Hulu. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that'll be great for Hulu.
Because, like, from what I've seen from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, I mean, Hulu didn't really save them, but, like, they got picked up by NBC, and it's already being put out on Hulu. And
Yeah.
it's, like, holding true to, you know, the older seasons. And I feel like if this gets picked up by Hulu, then, you know, they can maybe
do something with it.
do something with it, because they're still trying to, they still don't know what, like, Dark Phoenix is what's gonna happen to that one either. But yeah, that's all I got on that.
All right, so on to the subject at hand, the Batman animated series. Batman the Animated Series is an American animated television series based on the DC Comics superhero Batman, obviously.
I thought it was Marvel.
My whole life has been a lie.
Right.
questionable at best, but okay.
Developed by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski and produced by Warner Brothers Animation, it originally aired on Fox Kids from September 5th, 1992 to September 15th, 1995.
Oh, hearing Fox Kids, like, I'm
I see the water tower with the WB.
spotlights.
Yeah.
okay.
It originally aired on Fox Kids from September 5th, 1992 to September 15th, 1995, with a total of 85 episodes. For the final 15 episodes, the series was given the on-screen title The Adventures of Batman and Robin, which was also used for reruns in earlier episodes. The series eventually spawned two continuation shows, The New Batman Adventures and Batman Beyond. Remember that fucking rad-ass intro to fucking Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, there was
Whatever happened to Batman?
There was actually another piece of news that I was looking over that I had saved, but I forgot. I'll just briefly mention it. It was, I think Kevin Smith mentioned that if they made a Batman Beyond movie and Michael Keaton came back as old man Bruce Wayne, how amazing it would be.
Yeah, he said
Didn't he
it
say
would-
he would
like-
win Oscars?
and I'm like,
It would
fucking
make $1
send
billion.
Do it.
I like Batman. I like Batman Beyond because it was voiced by
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, Boy Meets World, older brother.
I thought you were just talking about Batman.
yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
But that guy.
Oh, dude, it's here.
Yeah, it's there. I know.
Mr. Matthews.
Eric Matthews.
Yeah, Eric.
Mr. Matthews.
Because it's Corey and
Eric. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
No, it was stupid. I was thinking of years ago before I rewatched Boy Meets World. What was the girl's name? I remember it being some weird ass name. Like,
Topanga.
yeah.
Topanga.
And then I was like, what? I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, nobody would remember that. Topanga?
Tampico.
No. Tampico.
dude, I was so in love with Topanga.
One of our rappers from here in Salt Lake, his name is Rhyme Time. He actually did a song and called it Topanga.
There you go.
No shit. Really?
Topanga.
Beanie.
Tune in next week for our Boy Meets World episode.
It'll be called Feeny.
The series took influence from the Tim Burton live-action films Batman and Batman Returns, and the acclaimed Superman theatrical cartoons produced by Fleischer Studios in the early 1940s. In designing the series, creators Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski emulated the Burton films' otherworldly timelessness, incorporating period features such as the black and white title cards, police airships. Although no such thing existed, Tim had stated that he'd found it to fit the show's style, and a vintage color scheme with film noir flourishes.
Dude, that's the one thing that stands out in my mind when I think of
It's
this
so
show.
fucking
is
cool.
the opening credits when the airship's lights turn on.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, can we just agree that the Tim Burton Batmans are the best Batmans ever made?
Yes.
No.
Michael Keaton.
No.
Michael Keaton's the best.
I won't
Batman
agree
ever.
with that at all. I really like
because you're a bitch.
Granted, yes, they were really, really good. I don't know, and I'm not even
They're my favorite ones.
The best ones that focus on Batman, sure, but I really like the Nolan films. I think they're the best.
You would.
Yeah,
I really do.
Kind of follow crowd. That's all good though.
Fuck you, Brian.
Oh, come on!
It
doesn't matter who we
are. What matters is our plan.
Exactly.
The visual style of the series was based on the artwork of Radomski, and the gothic look of Gotham City was derived from his initial designs. In addition, Radomski issued a standing order to the animation department that all backgrounds be painted using light colors on black paper, as opposed to the industry standard of dark colors on white paper. The distinctive visual combination of noir imagery and Art Deco design was dubbed Dark Deco by the producers.
The series initially took a variation of music written by Danny Elfman for the Burton films as its theme. Later episodes of the series used a new theme with a similar style by Shirley Walker. Walker was occasionally Elfman's conductor for films. The score of the series was influenced by Elfman's work on the Burton films, as well as music of the 1940s film noir. The series is more adult-oriented than many of the previous superhero cartoons. It depicts outright physical violence against antagonists, including realistic firearms, though only one character, Commissioner Gordon, was even depicted as having been shot in the episode I Am the Night. First-time producers Tim and Radomski reportedly encountered resistance from studio executives, as you might expect.
Of course.
But the success of Burton's films allowed the embryonic series to survive long enough to produce a pilot episode, On Leather Wings, which according to Tim got a lot of people off our backs.
I think that there's no way in hell that this series would be as good as it is if it didn't cross a few lines.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the edginess of it for a cartoon of that time was what really set it apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
There was actually an episode.
And On Leather Wings was great.
Yeah. There was this episode. It was a silent episode that was going to like delve into Bruce Wayne's like sexual romps or whatever, but they never. Yeah, it was going to be like completely silent, like the way Warner Brothers does, like the Merry Melodies cartoons or whatever.
God, that would have been fucking brilliant.
It would have been so dope, but they
already delved into some of that in the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gross.
Although I'm not saying I wouldn't if I was Batman, but you know.
Yeah.
They didn't even like tiptoe to the subject as much as they just beat it to fucking death with a sledgehammer.
I mean, we can pretty much agree that like Bruce Wayne can get anything that he wants. Like, I don't know. I feel like that dude'd be crushing the puss on a daily basis. I don't know.
What's up, girl? You want to see my bat dick?
I can just see a billboard with Bruce Wayne on it, and underneath it just says "crushing the puss on a daily basis."
And he's just like,
Can I see your bat cave, baby?
yo, girl, you want to see my nipple suit?
Oh,
Just wait a couple years, it'll be right along.
The series is also notable for its supporting cast. Numerous known actors provided voices for a variety of recognizable villains, most notably Mark Hamill, finding success in voice acting thanks to his cheerfully deranged portrayal of the Joker. The role was originally given to Tim Curry. Could you imagine?
Oh my god.
Could you imagine?
What a world.
Dude, like, Tim Curry can do anything. Like, I mean, I would have been so down for that.
Hello, butts.
Hello, that was fucking perfect. Holy shit, do you practice that in the mirror every day or what?
Practice a lot of things in the mirror.
Fucking perfect, dude.
Usually he's just touching himself, but that, yeah, sometimes.
As long as he's doing that well, he does it. Holy shit.
I think that would swear someone off from masturbation forever.
Alright, where was I? The role was originally given to Tim Curry, but he developed bronchitis during the initial recording sessions. John Glover, who later voiced the Riddler, also auditioned for the Joker role. Hamill, who found himself to be the biggest fan of the Batman comics, among the cast, credited the laughs he had honed on stage in Amadeus with landing the role. The recording sessions, under the supervision of voice director Andrea Romano, were recorded with the actors together in one studio instead of taking separate recordings, as is typical. This method would later be employed for all subsequent series in the DC animated universe. Al Pacino was considered to voice Get the fuck out of here!
God damn, dude.
Batman!
That would have been weird.
You're never gonna take me alive, you hear me, Batman?
No, he would have been like, look, Pelican. Oh, I was kidding. Another Quaalude and she'll love me again in the morning.
Hey, Batman! Hey, Batman!
Yeah, that's perfect.
Everybody needs a bad guy.
Say goodnight to the Joker.
Everybody needs a bad guy. I just gotta flip this coin. And you're gonna be okay.
Who you calling a fucking dishwasher, man?
Harvey Dent? Fuck him.
Yes, dude, yes.
Al Pacino was considered to voice Two-Face in the series, but he declined the offer. Other actors included Ron Perlman as Clayface, Roddy McDowall as the Mad Hatter, David Warner as Ra's al Ghul, Michael York as Count Vertigo, Kate Mulgrew as Red Claw, George Murdoch as Boss Biggest, and George Zunza as the ventriloquist.
Dude, Ron Perlman as Clayface, though?
That'd have been rad.
That would have been bad.
No, that is.
Fucking...
That is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Rob Perlman is Clayface.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey there, Batman.
Well, see, like, so that's a little, at least for me, was a little
gonna
confusing
smash your
then,
face
because
in.
you said Al Pacino was considered, and then the next sentence is other actors included. Like, so it sounds like all of those actors were considered for those roles. but
I
didn't
was
do
under
them.
the same impression.
No,
Also,
yeah.
I don't know who any of the other people are.
Yeah, I don't either.
Exactly.
Wow, look at this A-list.
Voice actors.
Jesus.
One of the series' best-known inventions is the Joker's assistant Harley Quinn, who became so popular that DC Comics later added her to mainstream Batman comic book continuity.
Get the fuck out. This is where she came from?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I actually have the animated series Harley Quinn Funko signed by Tara Strong.
Jeez.
Dude, Tara Strong. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
She could get it any day of the week,
Any day.
Put Tara Strong on the billboard saying that.
but only if she wants to, because we at the Nerd Corporation are pro-consent.
Except for Bryan.
Kind of sound like broken scent.
Bro consent.
Bro-consent. The Penguin underwent change for the series, as his appearance was remodeled after the version seen in Batman Returns, which was in production simultaneously with the series' first season. New life was also given to lesser-known characters for the series, such as Clock King. In addition, dramatic changes were made to other villains such as Clayface and Mr. Freeze, who was changed from a gimmicky mad scientist to a tragic figure whose, quote, frigid exterior hid a doomed love and vindictive fury, end quote.
And I loved that so
Yeah,
much.
I really
that
did
depiction
too.
Of
Nice to meet you.
oh God.
Arnold, the Iceman cometh.
Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Actually, I got
Those
this.
are my cookies.
I got this little.
Put that cookie down.
I got this little figure in back when I had Loot Crate, and it's or no, I actually bought this at Hastings when they were going out of business. God rest their soul. And it's called a Q Fig, and it's of Mr. Freeze. And he's like trying to eat this ice cream cone, but his helmet is on, like blocking it.
That's awesome.
And then he comes with this little like stand, and you can stick a bubble, like a speech bubble, on the stand, and it came with a marker, and you can just write what you want him to say on it.
That's
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
That is dope.
I thought you were gonna say I got a Turbo Man figure. I'm like, shut up.
New villains such as Red Claw, Mary Louise Doll, aka Baby Doll, Kyodai Ken, Tigress, and the Sewer King were invented for the series, but to little acclaim. On the other hand, the Joker's accomplice Harley Quinn, Gotham City Police Detective Renee Montoya, and the Vigilante Lockup, and former actor Simon Trent achieved such popularity that they became characters in the comics. The series is also the first to suggest that Harvey Dent had a pre-existing dual personality before becoming Two-Face.
That makes sense.
I liked that too. I mean, like, Batman the Animated Series was so good at giving all of these characters that, you know, really just sort of seemed to exist. It gave them so much more depth and history.
Absolutely.
You know, it was just amazing. And it was so well done, too.
So let's move on to the characters.
I have the fortune of talking about Bruce Wayne,
Who's
which
that?
literally is like, dude, I just think the idea of Bruce Wayne is so cool. You know, this playboy millionaire who's, you know, got a troubled past and, you know, fucking puts on a cape and starts kicking ass. I just think it's fucking rad as hell.
Why is it that so many Marvel characters are like DC, or if you want to say DC characters like so much Marvel? You know, like, you got Iron Man, you got Batman. Almost the exact same.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say Batman had it worse as a child, you know, but so did Iron.
Well, I couldn't tell you a single thing about Iron Man's back.
Well, Iron Man's
Tony
like
Stark.
him and his dad, not good.
No.
Not
I mean,
good
the
at
only
all.
thing that I know about is that the fact that, you know, he's got something wrong with his heart.
There's actually a scene
Right?
in.
Well,
it's one of the.
I mean,
is it one of the
yeah,
Avengers or
Civil
one of the
War,
Iron Mans?
I think it was because when he did the whole hologram and
Yeah, when he goes back in time.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Well, and
yeah.
Tony Stark's issues are more personal issues. Like, he's battled most of his adult life with alcoholism, and there have been times that he's been abusive to significant others, and so on and so forth. So he's got like some major, like, internal personal demons.
What's the name of the guy that plays Iron Man? I don't know why.
Robert Downey
Robert
Jr.?
Downey.
What a fucking perfect cast for that.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
holy
No.
shit.
Well, yeah, because Robert Downey Jr. is an asshole in real life.
Yeah, he is.
Well, he's just got a spotty past. That's what I mean.
Well, I mean, and not just that, but he physically looks a lot like the drawn character.
Yeah,
too. So, like,
that's
he
crazy.
is inside and out, like,
Just
the
crazy.
embodiment.
Yeah,
of
Robert.
Iron.
He also had the personal of
Yeah.
alcoholism and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, perfect fit. Yeah.
That's rad.
Funny thing that I saw on Facebook the other day, where I actually had to I like pushed up my glasses and pulled the fucking actually thing.
Yeah.
But my friend of mine posted this meme where it's like, all right, so Bruce Wayne's parents died going to the theater, right? Well, if you take into account when the continuity when everything
right.
went down,
Yeah.
like this and this and this, there's a very good chance that they could have been leaving the theater after watching Space Jam.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was like, actually, it was a play.
Yeah. Exactly. One of the most notable changes made in the animated series is the treatment of Batman's alter ego, Bruce Wayne. In nearly all other media, including the comics, television shows, and films, Bruce deliberately plays up his image as a vacuous, self-absorbed, and not too bright billionaire playboy. Kind of like Donald Trump. In the animated series, his
Much
character...
better looking.
Yeah.
And he wears suits that fit.
And bigger hands too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Doesn't feed people McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Come on, he told Kevin where the lobby was.
Wait,
okay?
sorry. Cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Cheeseburgers.
cheeseburgers and hamburgers and
God
frankfurters.
damn.
Chicken
the way
noodles.
the right like flocked to fucking defend McDonald's in the White House was truly something to behold. Like, it was one of the most defining moments of American history, let me fucking tell you.
Control, Alt, Right, Delete.
Exactly. In the animated series, his character is assertive, outwardly intelligent, and actively involved in the management of Wayne Enterprises without jeopardizing his secret identity. For example, in the episode Eternal Youth, Bruce is shown angrily ordering one of his directors to cancel a deal with a timber company in the Amazon rainforest that would have been made behind his back, threatening him with termination upon failure to comply. Kevin Conroy used different voices to distinguish between his portrayal of Bruce Wayne in Batman, a tactic previously used by Michael Keaton in Tim Burton's live-action films. Conroy based his dual-voice performance on the 1934 film adaptation of The Scarlet Pimpernel.
So,
I was gonna say that's kind of funny because, like, you know, previously, like with the old Batman series,
Yeah.
like I don't think that you could have had a dual voice thing going on because, I mean, you know, it's what's his bucket? Who is the
Adam West.
yeah, like I don't think you can ever not hear Adam West's voice in Adam West. I don't think he's capable of being or sounding anything like anyone other than Adam West.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, like,
I'm Batman.
so that's really cool, and that's like a distinction that really hadn't been there.
Yeah,
you
rest
go.
in peace, Adam West. Seriously.
No, that's what I liked about the animated series, because they had the distinguish. I don't know why when he wasn't Batman, when he was Bruce Wayne, he was so introverted, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if anything, if you're gonna act introvert, you're kind of putting suspicious up, you know? You're not having this huge, like, oh, this guy runs it. He ain't Batman, he's doing his own business stuff. So I like that about how it's that split personality was good. I get to talk about Dick Grayson. The series also redefined the original Robin, Dick Grayson, while much of Dick's past remains the same. His Robin costume is modernized with short sleeves and long tights, exactly like Tim Drake's original Robin outfit, but with a non-italicized R symbol. In addition, Dick is given a more serious and mature personality to match the tone of the series.
Nothing says mature and serious like a name like Dick.
The episode Batgirl Returned established that Dick and Barbara Gordon attended the same college and that they have a mutual romantic attraction to each other, but neither one knows the secret identity of the other. Their relationship is one of the plot elements of the film Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero.
Can we talk about how fucking brilliant those movies are?
Oh yeah.
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 Like,
No.
what's the
We're
name?
not allowed.
Is it called
Mask of the Phantasm.
That's so good.
Is literally like one of the
So
greatest
good.
movies of all time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that ending part where it's like it's an amusement park, right?
Yeah.
It's an abandoned and it's blowing up. And that part when Batman's holding Joker, that fucking laugh when everything's blowing up is like hands down one of the like coolest, most chilling moments ever.
And
dude.
like, and that is so far reaching because like just another one of those random Funko posts that I had liked. And it was asking like what your favorite animated, you know, superhero movie was, and like there were a few other ones. But for the most part, it was just line after line of Mask of the Phantasm, Mask of the Phantasm.
Well, no, like,
just
I
over
remember-
and over, you know?
I remember listening to a Smodcast where they were talking about it, and I remember thinking, I was like, I gotta go home and watch that movie. And I remember walking through that door, and I was like, this is gonna be a little weird. You know, talking to Angela, I was like, this is gonna be a little weird, but we're gonna watch a Batman movie. Like, not only a Batman movie, but a Batman animated movie. And she's like, all right, you know, and started watching it, and I was like, God, this movie holds up. It's
Yeah, it really
so
does.
fucking
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
All right, so Barbara Gordon makes her first appearance as alter ego Batgirl in Shadow of the Bat, after her father, Commissioner Gordon, is arrested under charges of corruption. Her Batgirl costume is exactly the same from The Adventures of Batman and the Bronze Age comics, sporting the same gray bodysuit, blue cape, and cowl, and yellow bat symbol and utility belt, but with blue gloves and boots to mirror that of the Batman's costume. She makes several appearances through the series and attends the same university as Dick Grayson, though neither of them are aware of each other's crime-fighting alter egos, both of which Bryan mentioned. In Batgirl Returns, Barbara actually makes a ceasefire deal with Catwoman, and they work together in solving the case of missing valuable cat statues while Batman is away.
That's weird. Like, I get, like, I want to know how you come up with, we're going to work together. Obviously, you're going to dissolve the situation, but if I were to do that, dude, butterflies be going through my stomach. Look, I'm talking as if they were my friend.
Yeah.
Right? I'd freak me out.
Dude, there's this scene that I'm trying to pull up from this movie. Did any of you guys watch Yoga Hosers?
I did.
It was always one that I wanted to
I
watch.
did, but it was a while
You
ago.
might know the scene I'm trying to pull up, and I had to find it on Netflix to find the scene, but
Those are lights.
Sorry about that.
You know, girls, that's just not very Canadian. Come on, Robin. Let's get out of here.
That's fucking rad, dude. That's so cool.
come on, Robin, let's get out of here.
I also I gotta say before I forget it, every time we go like da-da-da-da, it reminds me of that voiceovered when
Fuck, I
Batman's
should've-
yeah,
I should've went
I
with
should've
my
went with
parents.
I wanted to be a doctor,
Have
but
you
my
seen that
parents told me.
shit? Oh my god, I gotta find it. It's one of those Djibouti dub ones.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Some of the other antagonists that appeared in the series included characters such as Poison Ivy, Catwoman, the Riddler, the Mad Hatter, Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, Man-Bat, the Penguin, the Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Bane, the Ventriloquist and his dummy Scarface, Hugo Strange, and Tony Zuko. Other good guy characters featured in the show not previously mentioned include Alfred Pennyworth, Harvey Bullock, the Grey Ghost, an original character created by the series to portray Bruce Wayne's childhood hero and crime-fighting inspiration, Lucius Fox, and Leslie Tompkins.
Yeah, that's a lot of people I don't know.
So, yeah, and I feel like part of the reason I'm so fucking critical of stuff like Suicide Squad, I feel like Batman, like the characters and just how great the writing was, how great the characterizations were, I feel like that ruined me for these half-assed fucking, just
Well, that's what I
garbage characters.
That's what I was saying with Nick is like when you said that your favorite movies were the Burton ones. I'm like, no, my favorite ones are the Nolan movies, just because I feel like they did such a great job. It's explaining and portraying these villains, because that's always been my thing. Is I've always thought that the villains of Batman were way more compelling than like Batman himself. So yeah, like when Suicide Squad comes out and it's like it's all these villains, I'm like, this is not good at all, man. Like it's hard to make those villains bad.
I like the aesthetic of like Batman and Batman Returns, like and like those villains, like in my opinion, you can't top like Danny DeVito's Penguin or Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Oh, for sure.
And actually, my favorite Joker, even going over Heath Ledger's Joker, is Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Okay.
Like,
well, and
granted, they were each like each. I had this conversation at a party once, like drunk out of my mind. But we were talking about it, and it's like each Joker is a different Joker. You know? Like you got Jack Nicholson, he's like the mafia one.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's like the crazy, like dark one, and then I mean, if you want to throw Jared Leto's in there, he's like the gangster.
I'd like to throw him under a bus.
Yeah.
Like an actual literal bus.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing I said about earlier. Like, you can't go into newer ones 100% comparing to the other ones because they're completely different.
Yeah.
And so
they're all different aspects of the Joker.
Yeah.
Even like what is it? Adam West, the Cesar Romero Joker. Like he's like super campy, just he was the more just like out there Joker, like the more kind of
like
goofy,
funny, laughable.
I think it's stupid. Every time I hear Adam West, I think of that Family Guy clip. Nobody messes with Adam West. Yeah, it's so stupid. No, where's my light bright? Yeah, no, stupid.
Oh, so it's a screaming match you want?
Oh,
oh, that's a human's name.
The show also featured numerous adaptations of various Batman comic stories. The episode Appointment in Crime Alley is based on There Is No Hope in Crime Alley from Detective Comics 457 of March 1976 by Danny O'Neill and Dick Giordano. Dreams in Darkness is loosely based on Batman The Last Arkham of Batman Shadow of the Bat number 1 through 4 by Alan Grant, June to September 1992. This episode adapted the comic book story with the inclusion of Scarecrow instead of Victor Zsasz and Dr. Bartholomew instead of Jeremiah Arkham. The Cape and Cowl Conspiracy was an adaptation of The Cape and Cowl Death Trap from Detective Comics number 450, August 1975, written by Elliot S. Magan. Part 1 of Robin's Awakening takes its cues from Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder in Detective Comics number 38, June 1940. The episode The Laughing Fish was based on 3 Batman comics blended together. The Joker's Five-Way Revenge from Batman 251, September 1973, by Denny O'Neill, with art by Neil Adams, followed by The Laughing Fish and Sign of the Joker from Detective Comics number 475 and 476 of February and March 1978, both by writer Steve Englehart, with art by Marshall Rogers. During a Spotlight podcast from Comic-Con 2007, Paul Dini explained that the reason why the episodes combined those stories was because the show's creators could not adapt them separately, because their content and thematic elements would not have been cleared by the censors.
Dude, speaking of all the comics and everything, like, that's the main, like, one of the main reasons that I got super fucking hyped for Batfleck is because his Batman was based loosely off of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight, and that's one of the best Batman story arcs in my opinion. Like, that's like the nitty gritty Batman that you don't see in, like, you know, the movies or the animated series or anything. Like, that Batman fucks shit up, and I love it.
I can only imagine how hard it is to, like, because obviously when you're doing a show, whether it's animated or live movie and stuff, you don't want to be bland and redo things from all this other Batman stuff, your comics and stuff like that. Of course, you're going to get your ideas and your work from them. Yeah. But you don't want it to be like, oh, I'm just watching a comic, or I'm just... I mean, that's primarily what you're doing, but you don't want it to... You don't want to see what you've already seen. Yeah, so it's just pretty impressive on something as a big of scale as a Batman. To talk about Batman all fucking day, bro. I don't give a fuck. You don't fuck.
Shove Batman up my ass, bro.
No, I don't give a fuck. No.
I couldn't tell you how big of a fuck I don't give. Shove the Oracle up my ass, bro.
MAGA.
MGGA, make Gotham great again.
MAGA.
MAGA.
The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne was based on the comic stories The Dead Yet Alive and I Am the Batman from Detective Comics number 471 and 472 of August through September 1977 by Steve Englehart. Moon of the Wolf is based on the comic story of the same name by writer Len Wein with art by Neil Adams from Batman number 255, April 1974. The episode Terror in the Sky is loosely based on Man-Bat over Vegas, originally presented in the Detective Comics number 429 by Frank Robbins. The setting has been shifted from Las Vegas to Gotham Harbor in keeping the family-friendly ratings of the television show. She-Bat is not... Whoa, that's a weird sentence.
That just sounds like a goofy TV show, like Man-Bat over Vegas. Just like flying over Las Vegas. What'll he do next?
Eye in the sky in the new 6 chopper. We've got a Man-Bat over Vegas.
A man dressed as a bat, lovingly named Man-Bat.
Yeah, man, I saw the whole thing, man. He was rolling over because they always got the one guy.
And back to you, Glenn, with the weather.
It's gonna rain!
It's gonna rain! Oh, right. That was my line!
I looked around.
That's just another thing stolen from the black man.
I looked around and I could taste him.
Not today.
Where the fuck was I? The setting has been shifted from Las Vegas to Gotham Harbor in keeping with the family-friendly rating of the television show. She-Bat is not a vampire in the adaptation. The final line of the episode, "The Nightmare's Finally Over," is similar to one of the final lines from the original comic, "Now Fran's vampire nightmare is over."
Hasabagasu.
The episode Almost Got Him appears to be influenced by a 4-issue story arc in Batman 1977, number 291 through 294, entitled "Where Were You on the Night Batman Was Killed?" In each of the 4 issues, one of the Catwoman, the Riddler, and the Joker all recount their claims to have killed the Batman. However, the plot for Almost Got Him is quite different. 6 stories in the show and 4 completely different ones in the comic book, with only the Joker as an overlapping antagonist. Two-Face strategy in Almost Got Him, strapping down Batman to a giant coin and flipping the coin in the air. fucking brilliant.
Yo, it's amazing.
Fucking brilliant.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
I'm
Almost
gonna
Got
flip
Him
this coin.
is like a fucking masterpiece.
I'm still stuck on Al Pacino's Two-Face.
Yo,
I'm gonna flip this coin.
Could you imagine not only being flipped, but let's say it flips and it doesn't land on your side, but it's doing that whole roll and shit. You're like,
Oh, God. So yeah, he strapped down Batman to a giant coin and flipped the coin in the air. Was taken from the comic, World's Finest Comic, number 30, September 1947. In a backup tale, both Batman and Robin were tied to a giant penny that was catapulted onto spikes by a lesser-known villain, the Penny Plunderer.
I love that's the best name all time.
How sad do you have to be
Like,
as a
to
villain?
name yourself that?
That is the shittiest villain. He's never gonna make it rich.
Spare
He'll bring
change.
pennies the whole right. Just shakes his cup walking.
Just picturing Randy
Change!
from South Park.
Spare change.
And he
I
gets
thought this was America.
He
Change.
gets
Well,
a
no,
li-
and wait, that was wasn't that Kyle's dad?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No.
No, it was Randy, right?
Yeah, Randy Marsh.
Yeah, it was Randy Marsh that said
Yeah,
that
it's
in
Randy
America
Marsh.
thing.
I thought this was America.
No,
And
no,
he's
no,
like,
no,
oh,
not
it
that.
isn't.
The change. The
No,
spare
it was him.
Oh,
Change.
Because Randy was up on the mall roof, like trying to keep everybody
you're
up.
right. You're right.
Anyway.
Off Balance is a direct adaptation of Batman Into the Den of the Death Dealers of Detective Comics number 411, May 1971, written by Danny O'Neill, famous for the first appearance of the mysterious Talia character. Also a direct adaptation is the 2-part episode The Demon's Quest, based on Daughter of the Demon from Batman number 232, June 1971, and The Demon Lives Again, Batman number 244, September 1972.
Those damn demons.
Also by Dennis O'Neill and Neil Adams, famous for introducing one of Batman's deadlier foes, Ra's al Ghul, father of Talia.
They're living again. They've got daughters. They've got
Yeah.
quests.
Fucking demons.
The episode's sideshow is loosely based on A Vow from the Grave by Dennis O'Neill. This episode adapted the comic book story with the inclusion of a separate Killer Croc story.
Y'all just tourists.
I live under here.
I wanted to make that joke so bad. I was like, now's my chance.
B.E.T.
Dude, that pissed me off. That one line, like the whole movie was garbage, but that one line, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm fucking goddamn done.
That's it.
Motherfucking
Fuck this movie.
yeah, it was so bad.
Dude,
so bad.
even like El Diablo had a really shitty line in that movie, and I can't remember what it was, but it was like right before he like transformed, he said something really stupid, and I was just like, oh.
And El Diablo should have been like so cool.
Yeah.
El Diablo should have been John C. Reilly.
Oh, for God's sake!
El Diablo, Spanish for the Diablo.
What was the one where they were? They were like, I think it's like a big chicken.
Yeah, it was that one. Yeah,
Was it? Okay.
The Diablo. I think it's like some kind of fighting chicken or something.
A Bullet for Bullock is based on the comic of the same name from Detective Comics number 651, October 1992, by Chuck Dixon. The feature film, Mask of the Phantasm, is also an adaptation. The film's flashbacks were inspired by Batman Year One, whereas the character of Andrea Beaumont and the storyline itself were modified from Mike Barr's story Batman Year 2, which ran in Detective Comics number 575 through 578 in the late 1980s. The villain in the comics was named the Reaper.
The
Reaper.
What a cool ass villain too.
The Reaper. You got a good name. You might as well be a good villain too.
Yeah.
16 minutes of animated segments in the video game The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega CD are sometimes referred to as a lost episode of the series. These segments are intended to be interspersed between gameplay elements of an early 90s video game, and as such, the sound, color, and story are not quite the same quality as the actual television program. And because Sega did not have to follow censorship rules like the show did, the fights are also a little more violent. Many of the show's voice actors reprise their roles for the game and are thus in the lost episode as well. Similar cutscenes appear throughout the video games Batman Vengeance and Batman Rise of Sin Tzu.
You guys remember Rise of Sin Tzu? That game was fucking cool.
Did you ever play... Any of you ever play the fucking Batman Forever game?
No, I never.
I don't know.
Wasn't that on any?
I don't know about fucking Batman
No.
Forever.
It was like... I want to say Super Nintendo or Sega, but
There was a Batman game
It was
on the
so
NES.
bad. It was
Yeah,
so
that
bad.
old ass one.
Oh, it was bad.
Batman Forever was terrible. Like
Yeah.
it was like a side scroller, but they kind of did the whole like Mortal Kombat animation where they actually took the people.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not good.
No,
It was not
Oh yeah,
good.
they used sprites instead of like making regular characters.
It was pretty bad.
So
It was
when he
not
said Sega CD, you had a little bit of a reaction there. Do you wanna give a little bit of a backstory
Nice.
of how you're such a gigantic Sonic fan, even though it's the most garbage video game character ever
Shut your
made?
bitch ass up right now.
Shut your bitch ass up.
I'm not starting on that topic. Sonic was great. Also, funny side note, real quick, Michael Jackson made the music for Sonic 3, but it sounded super garbage on the Sega. So
I remember
he wasn't
that, yeah.
credited. It's a real thing though.
He
Like, it
wasn't
was-
credited?
No, he didn't want to be credited
Oh,
because it
no,
sounded
shit.
terrible.
There was
you
also
serious?
a Michael Jackson video game. Did you ever play that?
Moonwalker.
Yeah.
That game was
dope.
Yeah.
There was a console release and then there was an arcade release. The arcade release, it was kind of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that you would go around the stage and then
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, you do a beat 'em up and stuff like. It was great. Your super move, both of y'all would be like, "Whoo!" and just going around. It was super good.
My favorite super move was the one where he'd do that, where he'd be like, "Ooh," and then he like throws his hat. And
Yeah.
it's an AOE attack. Dude,
Yep.
that game was so pimp.
Wow.
I don't know. Oh, and also, may he rest in peace, Michael Jackson. I don't know why the whole goal of the console game of Moonwalker, like to get to the boss, you had to find like X amount of kids hidden in the stage.
Oh
Like, that's-
my
I am
god, that
not-
has to be a joke.
No, it was not.
Yeah, because it wasn't
Oh
during
my
the
God.
like
It
scandal
was
time.
years. It was like early '90s, is what I would say.
Yeah.
The whole point of it is that you start out. It's a platformer sort of game. And all you like, sometimes you would see like these kids, like they would be crying on the floor, or sometimes you have to like unlock closet doors, and they would be in there. And
Oh my god! He came out the closet. He came out the closet.
God, that is
It'd been
Now I'm in
so
the closet. Now I'm in the closet too.
It would have been even fucking funnier if like Macaulay Culkin was the final boss.
That's
no, the final boss is actually a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because Macaulay Culkin
with
is
the
like,
high tops on.
You would think that they would play like Michael Jackson music in the game, and they did here and there. But there were some that was like, because that was one of my biggest things. Like, let's play the Michael Jackson game and listen to music. I
Yeah.
play. The hell is this? This ain't no Michael Jackson.
It was
game.
like the 8-bit music. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't the
yeah.
actual songs. It was like the
And you would-
yeah.
and you would actually like you have a meter at the bar, and like it's kind of a all wipe out kill and everyone on the screen.
Yeah.
And you would do it, and you would actually play a Michael Jackson song, and he would dance, and all the bad guys would start dancing with him, and when it's over,
Get
like
the
they all
fuck.
die.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a dope ass special.
oh my god.
Yeah, definitely look it up. It's sweet.
The games we grew up with. There were 2 film adaptations: Batman: Mask of the Phantasm in '93, based on the animated series. The film started production as a direct-to-video release, but was ultimately changed into a theatrical release. Although the film was not a financial success upon its initial release, it earned widespread acclaim and has since become a commercial success through its various home video releases. Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero in '98, a direct-to-video release which was produced as a tie-in to the '97 film Batman and Robin. Sub-Zero's release was delayed until the following year.
The animated series was accompanied by a tie-in comic book, The Batman Adventures, which followed the art style and continuity of the animated series instead of other Batman comic books. The Batman Adventures, through several format changes to reflect the changing world of the series and its spin-offs, outlasted the series itself by nearly a decade, finally being cancelled in 2004 to make way for the tie-in comic of the then new, unrelated Batman animated series, The Batman. The character of Harley Quinn's first official comic appearance occurred in issue 12 of the series. It has become highly sought after by collectors and fans of the character. There was also a short-lived series of tie-in novels adapted from episodes of the series by science fiction author Gary Gravel. To achieve novel length, Gravel combined several related episodes into a single storyline in each novel. The novels included Shadows of the Past, which had Appointment in Crime Alley and Robin's Reckoning two-parter, Duel to the Death, which had the Two-Face two-parter and the Shadow of the Bat two-parter, Dragon and the Bat, which had Night of the Ninja and Day of the Samurai, and Mask of the Phantasm.
Mask of the Fat Ass.
Hey.
And Mask of the Phantasm, which is from the Mask of the Phantasm movie.
Due to the success of Batman the Animated Series, many crew members went on to design and produce Superman the Animated Series for the WB network. During this time, they created the new Batman Adventures, which featured the same streamlined animation style as Superman the Animated Series, as well as numerous character redesigns from the original series despite taking place in the same continuity. In 1998, a futuristic spin-off series titled Batman Beyond premiered on the WB, featuring a teenager named Terry McGinnis taking on the duties of Batman under the guidance of an elderly Bruce Wayne. Then in 2001, the Justice League animated series premiered on Cartoon Network, featuring Batman as one of the founding members of the League. This was continued in 2004 by Justice League Unlimited, featuring a greatly expanded League. Many DC cartoons unrelated to the larger DC animated universe, such as Teen Titans and the Batman, also featured character designs strongly influenced by those of Bruce Timm.
Man, you just read like some childhood right there.
What was the super old? Was it the Justice Friends? Like the super old, like
The Super Friends?
Yeah, Super Friends.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, dude, that show was the shit.
Yeah, dude, and there's like no cartoon that hasn't ripped that off.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Meanwhile, under Meg's bra.
Oh my god, dude, that was one of the jokes that I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that is the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Dude.
The Super Friends were the ones that turned Aquaman into a pussy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
The dramatic writing and stylized art of Batman, the animated series, separates it from many traditional comic book-based cartoons. It can be considered the dramatic equivalent of more adult-oriented cartoon shows like The Simpsons. For this reason, the show's popularity, along with that of its various spin-offs, endures among older audiences and comic book fans. The dark atmosphere, mature themes, and even some of the voice casts from the series are employed in the Batman Arkham video game series. Furthermore, Kevin Conroy reprises his role as Batman, and the first two games are co-written by series veteran Paul Dini. Also, Batman's design and costume in the animated series are featured as an alternate skin in Batman Arkham City. These skins are available as downloadable content.
Rad.
You.
Dude,
that's so
the
good.
Arkham games that I have, like, I have everything for
Yeah,
it. And
same.
yeah.
I love those games.
Like
They're
every
so
time
good.
I go reinstall like Arkham Knight, it's just like just a
long list
of like downloads that take like 2 seconds.
Dude, when I first bought that game, that's the first DLC that I bought for it, and I was just fucking I was Adam West Batman for like the rest of the game.
So, and that the Arkham games are really where I kind of started getting back into video games, and that's when you and I were hanging out like a lot, like way back in the day, you know, and like so that was kind of, you know, that was like my childhood just coming right back, dude. It was fucking great.
I was always Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I love the Nolan films. They're okay to me. Like, they're not the best for me.
Calm down, Cole.
Like,
I roll.
Give us another Arkham game for fuck's sake.
Please, dude. Like,
what are they working on? That's what I want to know. Is like, what the fuck are you working on?
I don't know.
We haven't heard from them in so long.
Who, Rocksteady?
Rocksteady.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're working on. Like, there was big rumors
weren't we
going
supposed
around.
to at E3 last year?
Yeah. I think they pulled out. I think there was a big rumor going around that they were doing a Superman game.
Yeah, there was.
And I'm like, please,
And
God,
they
no.
calmed that rumor down, though. They
came out and they're like, no.
like, we've got a big game in the works.
We know that that's fucking impossible to make a
No,
compelling Superman
we
game.
played Superman 64.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck Superman. in a
Collect
video game.
ring simulator. Might
so-
as well play Sonic.
I remember as a
exactly.
kid there was this Superman Atari game that was like the shittiest thing ever. It was so
It's
garbage.
literally impossible to make Superman a compelling character. I'm sorry.
Because he's,
Like, Smallville is the best attempt.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
It
my
really-
fucking
Thank you.
shit.
It's the best attempt, but-
it kind of like it was almost like a mashup of Superman meets Spider-Man, like in that he's going through all of the teenager things that a
Right.
teenager
Yeah.
would go through.
See,
and-
but that's the only compelling aspect
Yeah.
of Superman is the come up. That's all it is.
That's
like,
it's because he didn't know.
and he doesn't
Yeah.
have all of his powers.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
learning to use his powers.
Did you guys see that tweet from Stephen Amell?
Oh,
About he's sitting in CW's meeting room, and he's sitting there with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum.
which, by the way, Michael Rosenbaum is
shit.
my favorite Lex Luthor.
Yeah, mine too,
Absolute
dude.
favorite.
That was my one
Which
of
is
my
hilarious, 'cause
that
he's
you're
funny
telling
as
me
fuck, too.
that- what's the one guy, the scrawny guy that did the Batman versus Superman Lex
Jesse
Luthor?
Eisenberg.
You're telling me that Jesse Eisenberg didn't give the fucking performance of his goddamn career?
I thought Jesse Eisenberg was dope as fucking Lex Luthor, but he's no Michael Rosenbaum.
You're being
He
sarcastic,
is-
right?
Yeah.
I was like, there's
Okay.
no way.
Funny.
it was very uncanny.
little
I mean, it was
thing
fine.
about that.
I liked it. It's no Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
So in I think it's Batman v Superman when what is it when Lex Luthor drops Lois Lane off the building and Superman has to save her.
Yeah.
So that's actually in the comics one of the ways that Batman defeated Superman is he had Catwoman go and do that, and Superman, of course, he had to take off and save her, so that was a Superman defeat.
Got him.
Got him.
No, yeah, I like the Smallville part a lot, and plus Michael was a super duper. The whole game of wits between them, I know you're fucking Superman. I know it.
Yeah.
It was going crazy.
And he was like, in his head, he was like, "You don't know shit, motherfucker."
He's like,
No, I was like, "I fucking twist and turn your ass until the end of this goddamn series, motherfucker."
I
ain't got shit.
have never watched that show.
It's on Hulu.
Smallville?
It's on Hulu.
it's great,
All
and I
Hulu.
love the struggle that Lex has within himself between
Yeah.
doing the right thing
Yeah.
and then doing what will benefit him the most, and and he's got all that shit from his dad. And,
Yeah, I know
it was
Luther,
it,
yeah.
It really humanized him in such a good way.
You should definitely watch it, dude. Give it a chance.
Yeah, kind of like how you said about Batman's villains with Superman and Lex Luthor because of Smallville. Superman doesn't know his powers, and also Lex wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad dude, but
I
then
mean,
this drives him nuts.
And the show
It's
has
insane.
its problems, just like any
Right.
show
course.
trying to
course.
do comic book stuff and being faithful and everything. But overall, I mean, it's just really well done.
Fucking if they show up on Arrow, bro, I will have the most triumphant erection
Oh, I know.
ever in life.
Done. And it's shiny,
It'll have its own S cape and everything.
blowing in the wind.
Have any of you ever read the novel The Death of Superman?
I haven't.
I read it when I was in, I want to say grade school or maybe middle school. Super fucking awesome. It basically, it's kind of like how it happens in Batman and Superman, how he how he dies hitting the Doomsday with the kryptonite spear.
Yeah.
So in Death of Superman, basically Doomsday comes and just fucks shit up, and then basically is fighting Superman, and he just pummels him into the ground so hard and so fast
I've seen
that
the panels of that.
he has no time to regenerate his health, and he literally beats him to death. And the ending of that book, everyone's just gathering around, just what the fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah, he just
Infinity
leaves
War
him in
ending.
like a
Yeah.
fucking bloody pulp, dude, just in a crater in the ground. I've seen the panels for it, and
Yeah,
that shit
it's
looks
gnarly.
fucking dope. I thought
Well,
that was
it
Darkseid.
was-
No, it was Doomsday.
No, it was a novel that I read. It wasn't like a comic book when I read it. It was like a...
It's a book.
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah?
I thought
Yeah.
Doomsday was like the one. He's the guy that kills Superman.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's why I was so butthurt when I saw the trailer for Batman vs Superman, and I'm like, are they really doing Doomsday?
Yeah.
Well, see,
Like already, it's like
That's
this
like-
is the
that's
first
like-
fucking
and
movie, dog.
apart from Smallville, the death of Superman was the only time that Superman for me was really ever interesting. When you get like, because I was a little bit into the comics back then. I mean, I've never really been that into DC,
Yeah.
but I was able to read some of the different things, like where you had all the death of Superman, and then immediately after you had all of the different Supermans.
Yeah.
So like you had your Man of Steel, which I read a lot, and I really liked that one. I thought Man of Steel was really cool,
Yeah,
and
Man
I
of
wish they
Steel
would
was
do
dope.
a cool.
Was that the one
a
where
good
he
Man of
was
Steel.
actually made of steel and had the hammer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And then
remember
there
that
was, fuck, dude. There was this one where Superman was all blue and he was electric.
Oh damn.
And like that shit was so cool. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like, it was like all blue, and his like skin was like a blue white, like a pastel blue, and his hair was like
He's
a dark
what's his face from The Watchmen.
yeah.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, he was like Dr. Manhattan and Jamie Foxx's Electro put together.
And I liked one thing I liked about Smallville is where they started messing around with like all the different colors of kryptonite and what they would do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like DC's Infinity Stones, and they just like fuck with Superman. Like, they just do all these
watch it,
different
Nick.
things.
It's good. It's way good.
I don't know. I feel like that's what makes these Marvel movies so compelling, is that there is an overall arc, like, except for Age of Ultron, because like Ultron is a character, right? He's the robot alien guy, right? So, and then at the end of that movie, that's when they tease Thanos, right?
No, Thanos was teased years ago.
I mean, that's they've teased him several times.
And Thanos is kind of like the known ender of like everything, right?
Like for them, as far as the cinematic universe, this is like the most powerful thing they've ever seen.
Yeah. So in the comics, who's that? Is that Galactus?
Yeah.
Galactus is
Galactus.
definitely. I mean, there's.
Did you say Galacticus?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
He's like, what is he? The Eater of Worlds?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, there are several beings that are that level of
You
power.
actually fight him in Marvel vs. Capcom at the end. Like, when they go
and
through
in
the
Ultimate
story.
Alliance too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
do you think that Galactus is going to show up in the?
I pray to God he does. I
Years
pray to
down the
God
road.
he does, for one reason and one reason only. I mean, yes, it would be absolutely cool, but he deserves redemption after that shit they did to him.
No, he does.
In
yeah.
Fantastic Four. That is bullshit. He's not a cloud of space rocks.
Yeah.
Just floating around. No, fuck you.
I just don't think it's going to have the same effect that Thanos does, because Thanos has this like and everyone's fucking gone. So like you
Well,
have
no,
this
it's a
like
totally
crazy
different-
compelling moment
it's a
where
huge
like
thing.
all these fucking people are dying
Dude,
like crazy.
he literally can clap planets like it's
Yeah.
Well,
insane.
but does it have the same effect though? That's what I'm trying to say.
Galactus is just as powerful, if not more.
Yeah.
I can't remember who Thanos did.
But you're doing it again though. Like it would just feel repetitive. This is what I'm trying to say. Is I feel like you can have like that's why I feel like the Thanos snap works as well as it does, and it affects the way that it does, is because it's like holy shit, this is crazy, like world-ending shit right here. Like it literally, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out
It's
my
this,
ass.
like I see where you're coming from, but I
Yeah.
mean, like as if you were to write the story, how far are you gonna? How else could you do it? You know?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have.
I just know that we
always
got like 18 more years of fucking Marvel films, so I'm
There's
always
a-
curious to know like what
There's a
direction
part
are they
in,
gonna go.
I can't remember who he actually does it to, and I don't know if you can back me up, Eddie, but there's a part in the comics where Thanos literally like claps a dude's head.
Yeah.
And it just like you see the blood coming out. He just goes like this to his head, and it just
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Infinity War
I gotta look that
storyline,
up now.
like the Infinity War, the Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm trying to remember the last one. The Infinity Crusade. Like, if you ever get a chance to read those, do it. Like those, it's such a bigger story as far as the Infinity Gauntlet is concerned.
Yeah.
Because they have they have Mistress Death, And Mistress Death is
Oh,
like super powerful.
That's the
Right
chick
here.
that Thanos is like.
It was
obsessed
Captain
with,
America.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Well, see, and you know,
Sport.
on what you were saying, Cole, like I want them to do something totally different. Like I want them to do something
Outside the box.
Either like I would love a House of M. I would love a House of M series.
Okay.
Or personally, and I'm sure I've said this before, but I would love a Secret Invasion story.
Yeah.
Oh
Secret
yeah,
Invasion
you
is
said that
something
before.
Which makes me super excited that they're bringing Skrulls in with Carol Danvers,
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
You know what I
But-
would like to see, and it's definitely a pipe dream. Marvel Zombies.
Oh, bro.
So I'm not big into comics, but I've read those comic series, and it's such a weird feeling of like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Like, they're zombies, but they can think. Like with Spider-Man, he's like, "Oh shit, I just ate Aunt May," and you're like,
Holy shit.
"Yeah, no, it's insane." And
Yeah.
then you're like, "What do we do? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And
But
then
see-
they eat. Oh, dude. It's
You know what?
So
you know what
the-
I want to see? I actually want to see the Flashpoint
Yeah.
DC event. I would love to see that as a like cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I want a J. Jonah Jameson standalone film. God damn it.
where he just runs around yelling at everyone always.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
But no, see, so Cole, like that's what I'm saying is that like with either House of M or with Secret Invasion,
Yeah.
those are two completely different styles of story from just the holy shit, there's this big, really, really tough bad guy that we have to beat. Like with, you know, House of M, there's just so fucking much going on.
Yeah.
And then
And House of M is the story of they're just pretty much the eradication of mutants.
yeah, like Scarlet Witch, like just
It's
like,
pretty much a snap kind
Yeah,
of thing,
it's-
except that nobody dies, everybody just loses their powers.
Oh, okay.
But Secret Invasion is cool because it's a lot more like not like it's more like it's just straight like so much sabotage and no one knows who anyone is, like, and it's so fucking just subtle and brilliant.
Like the closest thing to that like would be like a Marvel Comics version of Independence Day.
yeah.
So, you know, kind of bringing it back to what I was saying about how, you know, like you know, them somehow involving Galactus and, you know, this doomsday feeling again over the Thanos. Like, my whole reasoning is like the biggest example I can think of like disappointing, like disappointment in my own way is like, of course I'm going to bring it to anime, but like Dragon Ball Z, you know, Cell was a super crazy threat. Like, he was going to, at any moment he could blow up the planet.
Right.
At any fucking moment he could. And so he was terrifying. That entire arc
And
he
didn't have to go gather stuff. Or
and be the game. Like, yeah, no.
He was terrifying because he was like, I'm going to hold a tournament. I'm so fucking petty that if you can beat me, then I won't do it. Like, I won't kill your entire race.
Obviously, you'll be dead, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it does. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like he was terrifying that he could end the world in the like a snap, you know. And then the next arc is the Boo arc, where Boo is a terror. You know, he's super scary by himself, but like that feeling of like world endingness, it doesn't hit as much with Cell, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, and that's what would be really cool about Secret Invasion, because so the Skrulls have infiltrated like every superhero team around, because they're shapeshifters. So they've infiltrated all these different teams and everything, and so no one notices this. No one has any idea of what's going on until it already has started happening. Then they've also got these Super Skrulls that have, you know, just an amalgamation of all these different powers of superheroes. And so it's not one big fucking bad guy that's just gonna wreck everybody.
Yeah.
It's intricate, well laid plans
Okay.
by people who by themselves
Man, that'd be fucking rad.
would be pretty easy to beat.
Yeah.
But it's just so extensive. They've got people everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking crazy. And it's like by the time people start getting wise to what's going on, they're like, oh fuck, it's too late.
So on a scale of 1
And
to
it's
10,
just
how likely
crazy.
is this Secret Invasion going to happen?
I mean, I don't think it's super likely. I think that's a little bit.
Because I would see that.
I mean,
I'd go watch that.
That's kind of a huge undertaking.
I was gonna
And
say,
I-
like, the thing about the Marvel movies is I love like the direction that they're going. I love that we're getting a Captain Marvel and all that.
Because Captain Marvel's supposed to be the one that like saves us, right?
Yeah.
Like saves and like kills Thanos.
Well,
all
and
that
Adam
shit.
Warlock's teased
Brings
as well.
me back to life.
That's why when Nick Fury sees all that shit go down, he tries to call her. But
he calls her.
He calls her and
No,
he disappears.
He pages her.
Yeah. Because everyone's stuck on 90s technology.
And didn't they say that?
Because like I'm assuming it's because he like
Like it's some intergalactic pager that he's
But,
I
like,
think that he's
'cause
gotten
since-
from her
since
like back in the day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how she would get
But
it.
what I was gonna say is that like I like the direction they're going, but there's too much Marvel stuff for all of us to get what we want, and then I'm just like, these are just things that I want to see that I probably won't see. But
Yeah, there's
But I'll
100
still enjoy it.
directions.
It's just
I would
crazy.
love to see Super Skrull in a
Right?
cinematic universe.
It's
That
just
would
so
be
crazy
amazing.
that they're just fucking killing it with the Marvel shit, and it makes me really sad that they can't do the same with Star Wars.
And it's not like it's not like
so
DC
random.
where they had a
I thought you were
successful
gonna say DC.
successful movie with Wonder Woman, and then they put other stuff out, and that stuff failed. Like Marvel just keeps like stacking
Right.
and stacking and
It's
stacking.
like it's like Marvel's been stacking for a good long damn time, while DC kind of blew their load way early.
Well, and it's not just
Super
It's not
early.
just that. Like DC seems to just kind of go, well, what did we do that was successful? Okay, let's keep doing that.
Yeah.
And Marvel's like, okay, this was successful. That's cool. Let's try something fucking weird. Oh, that was successful? Okay, let's try something just as... Let's,
Before
they just
before
keep-
Guardians came out, nobody fucking knew who they
Yeah,
were.
no.
Nobody.
and everybody projected that to be an abysmal failure.
I had known
No, it was good.
the only
It's really
like I had known somewhat about him, and I knew about like Rocket Raccoon from like Marvel vs.
Yeah, yeah,
Capcom,
yeah.
but I hadn't like really read any of the comics. But I knew
Same.
that they existed,
Well,
and then I saw the trailer for that movie, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude! They're making this into a movie."
yeah.
and I
Oh
started,
shit, Andy Dwyer's gonna be in it.
I started getting into Guardians because of the Secret Invasion books.
Yeah.
Because they, it was just this huge event that crossed like every single Marvel book that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
And so, I had no idea who they were before. Like I'd heard of Star-Lord and everything, but like I had never read a Guardians comic book, and so seeing them pop up in that, I was like, oh, these guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then, when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, fuck. Like it was, it was just so cool.
Seeing what you want to see happen is always good. That was like with me and Black Panther. I'm like, holy shit!
Oh,
they're
yeah,
making
dude.
a Black Panther
And that's
movie.
and that's another one that no one could
Under
have
the
seen
radar,
coming,
under the
like
radar type
and
of
so
thing,
many
yeah.
people don't know who Black Panther is.
I do remember looking at like because they revealed that that static image of every movie
Like all
that's
their
coming
shit
out.
coming up,
yeah.
yeah.
Like their plan essentially.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
looking at Black Panther and I'd be like,
Come on.
like I mean obviously I don't have the same feelings towards it, but I just remember going like
What do you mean
I
by
remember
Cole, what do you mean by that?
I because you're black, dog. You are a black man in America. No, it's I just remember I never would have thought that movie would have been like Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Like it's been gathering all kinds of
Which
awards.
movie?
Black Panther.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, that's what they seem to be doing. They seem to
Oh,
be
yeah, Doc.
taking
Oh yeah, no.
Easy.
movies of superheroes that nobody really know, and they're just crushing it.
Oh yeah.
Well, show everyone your shit.
yeah.
I love this, man.
Tell them how much you paid for that. too.
$800 for
Good
this
Eight?
thing.
Lord.
800?
Yeah,
Oh my
800, man.
god.
Worth it.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
So, Brian, for those of you who can't see,
It was Bryan in a Black Panther suit.
an $800 Black Panther suit.
It's
was
rad though. It's
legit.
really cool.
Good God, man. That's
Yeah, man.
crazy.
Man, the trials and
Where did
tribulations
you get these
went through to
weapons?
get that.
All right.
thing.
Next time you should have my brother-in-law just do your cosplay for you, dude. He's
Yeah.
making
Oh,
hours.
by the way, I was gonna ask: is he gonna give us like any sort of like business cards that we can maybe like, if people are like, dude, those masks are
Plug-in.
dope. Yeah,
I-
well, here's the guy that made them.
I'll probably request some.
Okay,
Just
cool.
so that you can. So if you're listening, Julio, get me some business cards, and we'll pass them all out over through Comic Con
we
here.
gotta
in
get
Salt Lake.
All over creation.
Yo, we gotta get some suits now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all I need
I've
is
got
really
a
a
dope
blazer.
ass suit.
I don't. I need.
It's
to
a
get,
black. It needs to be black and white.
No,
though.
You need to be black and white.
I need
though.
to get one like tailored to me.
Not only
That's
do I
right.
gotta get a fucking ticket, I gotta buy a fucking suit too.
Cost me $231.
Good lord.
The suit.
No, the Comic-Con tickets.
Oh, that's right.
So you guys are going to the spring one then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm a little
There's
bummed
your
it's
answer.
only 2 days instead of 3.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I'm probably just gonna get the gold one again.
Oh yeah.
That's probably what I'll end up doing too.
all right, so should we finish this?
I don't even know.
We've only
where we
got
are.
we've only got 2 more paragraphs
Yeah,
left.
dude, we just got like so derailed for a good 30 minutes there. Several video games.
I'm Walter.
I'm Walter Cronkite.
I'm Walter.
7 salty sailors.
All right. Several video games based on the animated continuity were released during the 16-bit game machine era using the Adventures of Batman and Robin second season branding. Konami developed a game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment
Fuck
System,
Konami.
while Sega released versions of the game for the Sega Genesis,
You gonna
Mega
play
Drive,
my boy Hideo like that?
Mega CD,
Fuckers.
and Game Gear.
Sorry. Sorry.
The SNES, Genesis, Mega Drive, and Game Gear versions.
SNES.
I'm saying SNES.
Don't say SNES.
I'm saying SNES.
Don't say
Y'all
SNES.
can
Don't
fuck
say-
yourselves.
Don't say SNES.
SNES is there.
I love like we both just looked at each
I'm
other
like,
like,
oh god,
One of you
like
just
that.
say SNES, and then we'll like patch that over.
No.
Just leave it in.
SNES.
Are you underwater?
The robot.
I don't think so.
SNES.
Unless that robot's underwater.
You're underwater, stupid.
Bitch.
Let's see.
Things that make you go, "Buh."
It's like never played a video game in my life. I call it the SNES. The snaily SNES.
The sneaky SNES.
I'm a SNES.
I'm a
I'm a
SNES.
I'm a sneaky SNES.
I'm a Snickers.
Shit, when are we making another gag reel?
You're still saving all this shit,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like this and the last episode is probably a good
Enough
15
for
minutes.
the
Yeah,
cat.
SNES.
Genesis, Mega Drive, and Game Gear versions were side-scrolling action games, while the Mega CD version featured a 3D driving adventure. All of the games had art true to the series, while Sega's versions featured art elements directly from the show's creators. The CD version has over 20 minutes of original animated footage comparable to the most well-crafted episodes, with the principal voice actors reprising their roles.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Batman.
There was also a game made for the Game Boy based on the series and created around the same time. Developed and published by Konami, this game was distinctive upon the fact that it still used earlier Batman the Animated Series moniker instead of the Adventures of Batman and Robin second season title given to the other games. Though not directly related, the Batman Arkham video game series features some of the voice cast from the animated series returning to their roles, notably including my boy Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. Arlene Sorkin also reprised her role as Harley Quinn in the first game of the series, Batman Arkham Asylum. Most of the characters' costumes from the series also appear as downloadable skins in the game.
So that concludes our take on Batman the Animated Series. If you haven't watched it, you've been living under a rock and you need to go see it. It's on Hulu.
As Derek would call it, Batman TAS.
Yeah, Batman TAS. You need to go see it. It's on Hulu, and it's also on the DC Universe online streaming service. We'd like to thank Bryan for being our guest. It's very nice not to be the only non-white dude in the room.
I know, right?
And it seems like guests are going to be a more prevalent thing, because you said that you had a friend that wants to be on as well.
Yeah, we've got a guy that we did a previous podcast with,
Right
and we'll be getting him on as well.
Right on.
So as always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can send us an email at nerdcourtpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to follow our adventures through Gotham, Metropolis, or anywhere in the DC universe, Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcorppodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, including stickers and shirts, to add-ons and bonus content. So for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole.
Derek Reese.
And I'm Nick Lewis.
And I'm Bryan Draper.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
What, because he's black?
Yeah. Especially.